Success, a word often attached to money and shiny objects, but I define it differently. I view success as being able to earn your living doing what you love. In this series, I'm searching for the rebels, the risk takers, the innovators that have found a way to make their passion their paycheck. I am John Joffrey, and this is the Outliers. Blacksmith, a trade that dates back nearly as far as recorded human history. This is a skill that few have the grit and determination to learn, let alone excel at. Today, we're speaking with Autumn and Simon of Wanderlust Ironworks. This married couple is bringing art and beauty to the city of San Antonio by way of fire and pounded steel. They have literally built their lives around their craft. This episode showcases the journey from starving artist to being able to earn a steady living without compromising on creativity or vision. Essentially, an artist's dream come true. Let's kick things off by meeting Autumn and Simon in their element, working in the shop.
I feel like I've been transported back to medieval times.
Modern evil times.
Basically, we're making some tree branches right now, giving some texture, rounding off some bars.
Grab this guy right there.
Foolishly, Autumn and Simon have entrusted me with using a very expensive machine called a power hammer. I've never used one of these before, and as you can tell, I'm a little bit excited.
It'll go as soft as it would crack the shell of an egg, barely, or it'll like beat that thing into a pancake.
So just hold on tight.
Yeah, pretty much.
That is insane power.
I can do a quick reheat with this torch.
Dude, I'm sweating. There's like sweat on my brow. This is insane.
After 10 minutes of pounding on this machine, I developed a new respect for ironworkers.
So you can put as many curves in it as you want.
Wow, so you can really like add so much like natural curvature and stuff to
Yeah,
that.
it's super detailed.
How do y'all deal with this heat? This is nuts.
It just once you get sweating, it's all the same at that point.
Watching Autumn use sheer violence to so delicately manipulate this material was just mind-blowing to me. It really made me realize this is not something you can pick up overnight.
When you get to this part and you want it really detailed, that's when we come over here. If you want to, you can hammer.
If using the power hammer was uncomfortable, pounding metal on metal by hand was torture.
So before we got the hammer, that was everything to get
you
to this
serious?
point. Yeah, so we just call it a shoulder saver.
And
It's
you're
rough.
in here hours a day, like all the shock and
Oh,
vibration,
yeah.
like you said, your rotator cuff.
Yeah.
Then you graduate to the big boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was part of the beginning of us was you take as many jobs as you can to get the machinery, and then eventually life will get a little easier.
Yeah, right? But then you find that then you're just doing bigger, crazier stuff. Well, God, that was badass. That has to be one of the coolest like entries I've had into someone's profession. My adrenaline's like up. Is that like, does that even happen for y'all at all?
Yeah, it's fun. Normally we have music blaring and
Yeah.
it's much, it's like a party in here.
Well, first off, I mean, I guess, you know, one of my biggest questions is like Wanderlust. Like, where did that name come from and what does it mean to y'all?
We both love traveling, and we decided that that's why we wanted to open a business and do our passion was to make money to travel more and get inspired by what we see on travels and bring it back into our studio and take little bits and pieces from all around the world basically and put it into our art.
We started in our garage, filled it with whatever machines we could, you know, and fit in there and everything. And then it got a little bigger. So we sold our house and we built out like a little modern apartment in the back building.
Oh, so y'all live here?
Yeah, we live here.
Oh my God.
In the wood shop, we tore out the cubicles back there that our landlord had for his offices and made it into our home.
Like, your whole life is here.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
do you ever get like stir crazy or like?
No, we love it. And now that we're here, it's like a full acre and
Yeah.
we have all this space to like do stuff. And
Be loud, burn
Be loud,
stuff.
make
like,
stuff, yeah, all hours of the night, you know, so.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the
It's fun.
problem was we would get home from work, shower and eat, and we'd get like a second wind. Well, everything we had was up here. So
30 minutes.
You'd have to drive all the way back up here if you wanted to be inspired and make some art. A lot of people thought we were crazy for wanting to live where we worked, but when you do something you love, you're not living at work, you're living where you get to create.
Well, it's funny. It almost sounds like y'all didn't feel as at home
Yes.
if this is your home here, you know? Are you only working with steel, or like what other mediums do y'all use?
It's a lot of other things too. So we do painting. We've done cast plastics, from fiberglass to plastic to wood. We try and have the biggest toolbox we can. Our business right now is pretty much half kind of high-end furniture, and then the other half is a lot of public art pieces. So people will have either an idea for a private sculpture that they want built off of their vision, and we'll collaborate with them and get the ideas and just run with it. We also do a lot of work for the city of San Antonio. We build sculptures for other artists that they've commissioned to do stuff, but maybe they're a painter or ceramicist, so they don't have the ability to make a large steel sculpture out of their things.
I mean, you'd be like hard pressed to find someone that is like as experienced with just one medium as you guys are with multiple. Where did you learn all these skills, and like what built up to like where you're at now?
I was a couple of years earlier than her in studio art, and so when I first got in there, they kind of push you through all the different materials, and it intimidated a lot of people that we knew in school because there's sparks and it's hot and everything's heavy and sharp.
It's actually very blue collar.
Oh yeah,
That's what made me fall in love with him, because I was still in the military as an aircraft mechanic.
Oh my God. You can't just casually throw that out there.
She was working on fighter jets inside
What
the
the
wing.
hell?
Yeah. I thought that was cool too.
Welding is more blue collar, and that's the type of life I came from. My dad was a welder. My mom did a lot of woodwork. I mean, we had a full out shop where I grew up. Being in the art world, I'm like, I don't want to date you. You can't hold up.
Yeah, let me see those hands. Where are the calluses at?
And this one walks in one night into the studio, and I mean, just covered in metal soot and dust and all that. And I'm like, okay, I see you.
One of my professors was like, hey man, there's not a whole lot more I could teach you with metalwork. He's like, you should go get like a day job doing decorative ironwork.
When we opened the business, a lot of our first jobs, we were welding up dumpsters at apartment complexes. We were doing gates, we were doing security bars, just anything to pay.
Yeah, like that's not very sexy.
No.
And
No, it wasn't
so
fun.
yeah, gradually we got to finally start doing really unique jobs and stuff.
We've tried to operate with little debt, so if we have to live kind of below our means and chunks of time to get the next whatever we need, we'll do that. It's worth it. So we kind of let it fuel us to the word no recently. So yeah, if it's not something that's really gonna fit kind of where we're wanting to head, we turn them on to a couple of small companies that love that kind of stuff.
Yep, there you go.
We just kind of let the oddball ones in that seem fun to do, and it's been good so far. So.
Well, listen, I want to hear more about the story, but like I'm looking behind y'all, and I have a little lust to wander around and try some stuff out. So maybe can you show me some more like cool machines?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what is this contraption we're looking at here?
It's a CNC Plasma Cutter, and it's kind of a Swiss Army knife one. It has a diamond-tipped air scribe engraver, so it'll do like real hyper detail work.
So we were gonna cut y'all's logo out.
Oh my God, that's so cool!
Yeah.
Show you what the machine can do.
You guys have so much that you're working on, and I saw on the website. I mean, you guys do some like pretty crazy, like large stuff. I'd love to hear a little more about, you know, some of your large projects and like maybe like what your biggest project is.
So our biggest project is the Bloom series. We got a contract with the city by doing this project, and it's basically we're building flowers that have bike parts on them for an artist in town, and we put them at all the bike trails in town. So what started off as 3 flowers has turned into,
I think 23 or 24 now.
Dang.
And, they're like 17 foot tall.
What?
Weigh 1,000 pounds.
we've got some back here if y'all want to come look at it.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. This is so cool. I can already see like the sprocket, like the gears, those are all cassettes.
Yes.
Wow. This is amazing. I mean, this is giant.
It is.
And like coming all the way back here, so this thing stands like 17 feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so
Pedals too?
Yep.
Pedals too.
Oh yeah, we met this artist. She came to us. She had gotten a commission to build the first set of these flowers, and kind of had some loose ideas. And so she came over and was just seeing if can you fabricate it. And so through the conversation, we started kind of collaborating and throwing ideas with her. And we didn't know how to plasma cut or do any kind of computerized fabrication process. So this project has helped spring us into the CNC machine that you saw. And now basically we do everything in-house, the painting, all the fab work, all the cutting, the prefab stuff. The one component on this whole project that we don't do in-house is we have to ship the stems down to Houston to a shipyard and have them bent there, because like there's like 3 places in the whole country that can do that.
Holy crap.
So then we truck them back up here, and that's pretty much where outsourcing something ends, and we take the rest.
All right, I'm gonna get a little bit philosophic on y'all.
Okay.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Like,
All
you know,
right.
there's people out there, you know, our tax dollars are going to freaking to
they
art.
are.
What I want to know is like, what do you say the dollar worth of like art and like building up your community, and how much does it mean to you to be like surrounded in art and also seeing your art in your own community?
I think how much public art and like these really cool kind of attraction things that are in our city are like a measuring stick of like how healthy the economy and the culture here is. So to get to sprinkle this stuff throughout the city, I just think it enriches it and just pumps it up more. And it's helped us fall in love with the place that we live, you know? A lot of the city funding for any of this type of stuff comes from like tourism dollars, like the extra 1% of some new hotel they're building. They'll require that like the tiniest little sliver of that project goes to the Public Art Fund. And it's cyclical because this type stuff being all around the city, big fun, you know, interesting stuff to look at, brings the tourists back, and it makes it more of a tourist city, and so it kind of just snowballs.
So you're helping businesses,
Yeah.
like, you're taking a sliver of those dollars, but you're putting it all back in the community.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think also on a personal note, like growing up in a small town, I never saw a sculpture once in my life. It wasn't till I got into art school that I knew about these things. So I think having art all around helps kids' imaginations so much more in the physical world to see these things out and about, and it gets their minds working in a totally different way. So I feel like public art is not only great for tourism and stuff, but it's just good for the soul even.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to watch more of the Outliers, click here. To subscribe, click here. I'm out.